Math 8, Unit 4, Graphing and Slope, Lesson 10, Part 1, Writing a linear equation given any 2 points. So today the objective is being able to write the equation of a line through any 2 points and doing the situation problems. So first starting off with something a little more familiar, and that would be writing it from a graph. So if you're writing an equation from a line on a graph, you would find the slope first. The slope here looks like it goes up 5 and over 8, giving me a slope of 5/8. The intercept right here looks like it is about -1.5. That's what I would guess it to be, but we'll actually figure it out precisely. Remember, we can find the y-intercept by writing the equation y equals mx plus b, plugging the m in. And then we can use one of these points. It looks like x is 4 and y is 1. So I can replace x with 4 and y with 1. Okay, so we got 1 equals 5/8 times 4 is actually 5/2 plus 1. We can subtract the 5/2. Maybe it'd be helpful for you to see that in decimal form. Let's subtract 2.5. And 1 minus 2.5 is -1.5. So my guess was actually correct for the y-intercept. But now that we know it for sure, y equals 5/8 x minus 1.5. That would be the equation of this line. Now in general, if we are finding the equation through 2 points and we don't have a graph, just like we've always done, we need to find the slope, we need to find the intercept, and then once we know both of those, we can write our equation. So let's start with finding the slope. In order to find the slope, we're going to use the difference quotient. Remember the difference quotient, we do the y's on top, so y2 minus y1 on top, and we do the x's on bottom, x2 minus x1. The important thing here is that we start with the same point, x2. Whichever point we pick as x2, we need to make sure that lines up. So maybe I go 8 minus 4 for my y's, and then I have to go in the same order with 9 minus 7 for my x's. 8 minus 4 is 4, and 9 minus 7 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So I found my slope is 2. I'm going to write it in a different color to make it kind of stand out. So that's finding slope. Next, we need to find the y-intercept. Now we find the y-intercept using the following procedure. We would start by writing the equation with the slope that we just found. Then we're going to plug in a point. Let's pick the point 7, 4. For x, we'll plug in 7, and for y, we'll plug in 4. That just comes right from this point, 7, 4. 7 is x and 4 is y. So 4 equals 2 times 7 plus b. So 4 equals 14 plus b, because 2 times 7 is 14. Getting b by itself, we get b is -10. After we have found the slope, and then went further to find the y-intercept, we write our equation. And the equation is just y equals mx plus b. M we just found to be 2, and b we found to be -10. So it's y equals 2x plus -10, or just y equals 2x minus 10. So here's the notes. So given 2 points, you find the slope using the difference quotient. We write the equation and then use that to find the y-intercept. We plug in x, y, and solve for b. After we know what b is, we know the y-intercept, we found the slope, we can write the equation y equals mx plus b, and we're finished. So another example, determine the equation of the line through 1, 7, and -3, -1. Well, we would start by finding the slope, use the difference quotient. Let's do 7 minus -1. And 1 minus -3. Minus negative becomes plus positive. So you have 8/4, which is interestingly enough, 2 again. So my slope's 2. Then I find the y-intercept. Y equals 2x plus 1. Plug in one of the points. Let's use 1, 7. X is 1, y is 7. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2, so I can subtract 2 from both sides, and that gives me b equals 5. Now I've got my slope, I've got my intercept, I can write the equation, y equals slope times x plus y-intercept. Y equals 2x plus 5. Next example. Determine the equation for a line through 91, 100, and 95, 140. Now the numbers are a little bit bigger here, but the process is the same. We'd start by finding the slope. Let's do 140 minus 100, and going in the same direction, 95 minus 91 on bottom. This gives us 40 divided by 4. The slope is 10. All right, with that, we can write our equation. Y equals 10x plus b, plugging in for y and x. For y, let's plug in 100, and for x, let's plug in 91. And then, so 100 equals 10 times x plus b, or 10 times 91. 10 times 91 is 910, so we can subtract 910 from both sides. And that gives us negative 810 equals b. So now I have my y-intercept. With that information, I am able to now write my answer, y equals 10x minus 810. Y equals slope times x plus the y-intercept. And we're going to skip that here.